recording. Hi guys, welcome to GenZ Podcast. We are back again with another epic episode. So welcome to the specific segment which is Young People in Politics, where real talk meets the Gen Z energy. We ask the hard questions, we play the games, and we put your future leaders on the spot. Today we have an interesting person in the house. The member of parliament for Kamfisa.
Yeah, Kamfisa.
Oh my God, yes, Mr. Christopher Kango'amber.
Yes.
Honorable, welcome to GenZ Podcast.
Thanks for inviting me, Mary. You got the name correctly.
I hope so.
Yeah, Christopher Kango'amber.
Yeah, I don't know what I wanted to say. I don't know if I say honorable member for, like when the speaker says in parliament,
Honorable
member for Kamfisa. I think that was what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
But welcome to GenZ Podcast.
Thanks. I was waiting for this opportunity to come and speak to a different audience.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming through. I think for the Gen Zs, this is a big moment for us because then we can see that the leaders
So who are the
can
Gen
see
Zs
us.
first? Maybe I might be saying I'm speaking to a different audience. Who are the Gen Zs?
So the Gen Zs are the young people born between 1997 and 2012.
So by 98, never Gen Z.
By 98, you are Gen Z.
Oh.
By 98, you are Gen Z. By 99, you are Gen Z. Now, two people was ever Gen Z.
Okay. And then it's a different audience.
Yes, so because they are the ones making impact next year.
Yeah,
they are the first,
they have a role to play,
Yeah.
a big role actually.
Yeah, and most of them are like the first time voters.
Yeah.
So there is that excitement.
But
So
did they register to vote?
I think they did.
Okay, we'll have to check the stats.
Yeah, we'll have to hear from E-Season, but I
Yeah.
think they did.
Okay, cool.
The reason why young people are very hesitant to join politics, because sometimes it's like, why are you doing politics at a very young age? People tend to call it maybe
It's a dirty game or what?
Yes, it's a dirty game. Why do you want to join politics?
Of all things.
Of all things, why that? So I don't know. Could it be that that's the reason why most young people are sort of like hesitant to join politics? Because maybe they are thinking, I'm too young. They'll just think I just want.
It's the sentiments that come from people. People discourage young people. I would leave campus when I was campaigning. I would leave campus. I would print black and white flyers. Okay, so I would put my portrait, my face. Okay, and I had an afro. Okay, quite a lot of hair. I'll show you my poster. I had the position I was contesting and then my name on the far right. So I cut out those flyers. So on an A4 sized paper, I would put 5, black and white. And then I would go house by house. Okay, a 21-year-old person knocking on people's doors. And Riverside is a high cost area. So knocking, and then people would collect those. So one day I was at a commercial complex called VML. So we have a place in Riverside called VML. So this gentleman comes out of a big car, okay? And I think it was around 17:30. He's just knocked off. And then he finds me,
Giving out.
pestering people like, oh, vote for me, Christopher Kango'amber, councillor. So he calls me and says, young man, are you the young man from CBU? You think you can represent us in Riverside? Go back to school, finish school. You'll be more useful to society if you finish school. Okay, because I had 2 more years remaining. So in that moment, I would have been discouraged.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, I would have just given up. I would have said, this guy is telling me I'll be more useful to society if I finish school, go and work for the mines, be an engineer, do what not. But I knew what I wanted to do. I just wanted to represent people. I had attended too many high-level meetings, and I felt that the voice for young people needed to be there. The way we are seated, people make decisions for the rest of the society. So you have to be part of those young people. So I decided, let me contest, even if I'm being discouraged. And I continued. He looked at me. Now, the funny part, 2 years later, I was already councillor. Now, he goes to Quito City Council, and then he tells the people at the council, I have this problem that needs to be attended to. Then the guys at the council tell him, no. Do you know the right person to attend to your issue? You start with the councillor, then the councillor brings it in the council, and then we deal with it. Okay? So he comes home, knocks. By that time, I think I had left CBU. I was now working for Mopani Copper Mine. So, but because you could work as councillor, even now, you can be a councillor and still be reporting for your formal employment because being councillor is not for, a full-time job. So this same gentleman 3 years later, who told me I would be more useful to society,
Yeah.
comes home, and then someone tells me, oh, someone is looking for you outside. Who do I find outside? The same gentleman. Of course, he forgot. He forgot. This is the same young man he told. I don't know if he forgot, but I'm assuming he forgot. So he tells me, oh, there's this problem. And I was there. I attended to him, but then I had to remind him that, look, do you remember 3 years ago you told me I would be more useful to society if I
Just focused on school.
But here I am, I'm doing work, working for Mopani Copper Mines, going underground, but at the same time I'm doing civic representation. So I think that there's a misconception that young people are irresponsible, but I've seen a different pattern. The new generation, the Gen Zs. I know of a young man in Choma who wants to be mayor. He's 22 years old.
Oh, wow.
I have a mentorship group. There's a group of young people I'm mentoring, those that want to go into civil society work. I'm helping them get set up, encouraging them, giving them tips on how it's done. Majority are below 25.
Great.
So that tells you that young people, actually, we have more Christopher Kango'ambers of yesteryears showing up today. That time, I think I was one of the few, if not the only 21-year-old who wanted to be in leadership at that level.
Yeah.
But today, Mary, I think that I see this huge excitement, this desire to offer yourself for leadership. So I think the trend is changing.
The trend is
There's
changing.
something happening differently. Yeah.
Great. I've spoken to many young people and those that want to contest.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, but why? What's holding you back? And they always say finances.
Yeah.
I don't have the money. I
don't
need
have
the
the
money.
money.
I need to have a very big car so that when I park my vehicle, everybody knows that I'm here.
And honorable has arrived.
Honorable has arrived. You get so because they believe it comes with some level of respect, and also people are going to, be like, I think this one can give us something and things like that. Because also it goes with how something that we can't avoid, how politics have been commercialized.
No, it's worse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's no longer 2006. When I could campaign with black and white flyers.
Exactly. So
Today
that is
people
what I
say,
wanted-
you're not serious.
You're not
You want to
serious.
be mayor, you are giving us black and white stuff. Yeah.
So that was why I wanted to actually go back
So
to
money issues.
Money issues, and you were there moving with a poster. But right now it's very different. What advice do you have for these young people struggling with these finances? How do they get it?
Where do they get the money?
Where do they get the money? If there is somewhere where they can get the money, where can they get the money?
Well, I don't know where they'll get the money, but I think they are privileged to have people like Christopher Kango'amber who won an election without money. Okay, because I didn't stand on a political party ticket. I was an independent candidate. So the person who was next to me in terms of the votes was a PF candidate. Okay, the third person, and I'm talking about people I managed to defeat in terms of the outcome.
Yeah.
The one who came out third was a lady from MMD. Then the UPND candidate was fourth. So I won as an independent candidate. What worked for me? Why didn't I require money? First of all, times have changed.
Yeah.
Those days you didn't need money. Okay. The advantage that today's young people have is that, one, even if you don't have money, if you have the right message, for instance, if you are standing in Mutendere, you want to be councillor in Mutendere, you have to understand what are the challenges in Mutendere. So I will not mislead young people that just wake up one day and say, I want to be councillor, I want to be MP. First of all, tell yourself, do you even understand the problems affecting people there? So I'm doing mentorship sessions where I sit down with young people in a group, and then I start talking to them individually because the dynamics are different. If you're standing in a rural part of Zambia, say Lupososhi, which is in, as you're going to Northern Province, the dynamics there are different from you if you're standing in Mandev. So I'm trying to allocate time. It's not possible to be available like Monday to Friday, but within my schedule as MP, while I'm in Lusaka, when I'm in Ndola, when I'm in Kitwe, I sit down with young people. As far as Chingola, I talk to them. I tell them, guys, number one, do you even know how many polling stations are in the area where you want to stand?
Yeah.
Then someone says, no, I don't even know the polling stations. Now, how are you going to win an election? Because you win an election at a polling station. People have to line up to vote for you, right?
Yeah.
So how do you get those votes? Because you can have 100 people voting for you. But if you don't have a polling agent who writes down your 100 votes, the 100 votes can move to another candidate.
Yeah.
Okay, so money, do people need money? Yes, you need money because you need basic things. A t-shirt for your foot soldiers, the people that go out to mention your name. They need some sort of branding. Christopher Kango'amber, if you are Paul Chileshe, if you are Clive Mudenda, you need something. If you are Memory Chanda, there must be something that shows that this is you contesting. But you don't need a lot of them. Okay? There are some of us that are willing to assist. Okay? I don't have a lot of money, but I'll be able to say, this young man looks determined. You know, you can tell a determined person.
Yeah.
You can tell this one wants to push. This one wants to become a leader. So you have to help them. 1,000 kwacha, go and print 10 t-shirts. Okay? Those that don't see the value will say, I wanted more money. Then you realize this is not a serious guy. But if you see the energy coming from young people, I'm always telling them, number one, count the number of polling stations in your ward. If you want to stand as MP, the task will be bigger. I started as councillor, 10 years I was councillor, 5 years I was mayor for Kitwe. Then I became MP. So 10, 5, 5, that's like how many years? 20. So I've been in leadership for 20 years. Okay? And in these 20 years, I know that if you don't have the money, because others just use money to buy vehicles, go into the community, try and contribute towards people's funerals. I mean, you are a young person, 21, 22. Where do you get money to do that?
Yeah.
So take advantage of what gives you the age. So young people have one advantage. The advantage they have is that if you get your socials right, you get your TikTok correctly, you get your Facebook correctly, people are moving away from Instagram. I don't think that we have as many, we don't have much activity on Instagram. So most people have moved to TikTok. People have remained on Facebook. If you have a Twitter account, which is X, even better, be active because that's your only strength. The ability to communicate to an audience, which is your colleagues. Secondly, voter registration just ended. I've always asked young people, how many of you convinced your fellow young people to register as voters? Because if you don't have people who are registering to vote, how do you come and win an election? It becomes difficult. So in short, I tell young people that you won't compete with a ruling party candidate. UPND is in the ruling party, so they'll probably have more resources than any other candidate. But use your advantage, the ability to speak to the young people. If you are a Gen Z, you must understand the language of the young people. What really will strike a chord? And I think that is what I've been trying to do with my mentorship sessions.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to give out all the tips. The ruling party will steal my tips, which I'm giving to young people.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But I want to talk about something. ECZ.
Yeah.
Nomination fee.
Yeah.
I've had I'm telling you, I've had a discussion with these young people
Who want to contest.
Who want to contest.
Okay.
Nomination fee for me to stand as a member of parliament.
Nomination fee.
15,000.
15,000.
Exactly. Now me, I'm a student like you. I'm in my second year.
Yeah.
I'm already struggling with food. I'm already struggling with...
Mary, you want to contest?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Yeah. But let me get your point. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to speak, most young people that I've met, because I just finished university this year.
Yeah.
You know, I just graduated this year.
Okay.
So like I've been having these conversations with young people. So somebody will tell me, say, look, even if I have a very good manifesto, when I go to ECZ, they'll tell me to pay 15,000. Where am I going to get the 15,000 from? So what I'm trying to ask is, don't you think for the young people there should be a separate fee for them to say if you're maybe between 35 to 21 or maybe 30 to 21 you want to stand, you pay this amount. Is it going to, should it be the same with you?
It will be a good thing. I when I was contesting for the first time, I think I could afford the nomination fee. I was standing at councillor level. The position is quite like the first layer. So I think that time the amount of money was not a lot. It was easy for me, sit down with fellow students, use part of my meal allowance, add it to the money I paid for my nomination fee. Mayoral position, I think at that time I had worked 10 years as councillor, but I was also working for a company called Atlas Copco in Kitwe. I was selling mining equipment, so I had a salary, so I could afford to pay my nomination fee. And of course, that time I joined a political party, so I think those things looked much easier for me afterwards. So for the young people that are coming up, can they afford 15,000 kwacha nomination fee? Definitely they can't. Okay? But I want to repeat what I said earlier. If you know that, because ultimately in Zambia you don't get to win an election without competing. You have to compete.
Yes.
So whether we like it or not, there'll be competition. So my message to young people is that if you know that parliamentary level, you may not be logistically ready. Okay, I'll give myself as an example.
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to be member of parliament 5 years after serving as councillor for the first time. So 21 plus 5 years, 26. I wanted to come to parliament. Okay, I was determined to come to parliament, but you see, I had a lot of things I didn't put in place because I was still young.
Yeah.
Okay, that time I was not even yet married. So you ask yourself, what do I start with? Kankonka nyepo febo cancel. Okay, so I continued. But even when I was determined, I wanted to continue. I wanted to be elected as MP. But then you see, you are now a member of a political party, and then you have people telling you, okay? The same thing I faced in the first election, except that the time I was independent. So the issue of how much money does someone pay to file in their nomination, that amount is high. We'll take the conversation to parliament. You've just given me something to raise in parliament.
Yeah.
I'll raise it. I'll say, look, there's this call coming from young people that can we discriminate? If Christopher is now, I'm now 40 years old, if Christopher can afford to pay 15,000 kwacha to contest as MP, he's in this bracket. Can we also have those who are below a certain age, who we assume don't have access to much money, who we can still allow to compete? Their advantage will still be speaking to young people. So I want to agree that it's something we can take to parliament to make it a conversation.
Guys, I've just made one impact in my life. Okay, so before we go to Kamfisa, because I really want to talk about Kamfisa to be specific, we're going to play a game.
A game?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's called 60 seconds rapid fire. So you have to choose
60 seconds
rapid fire. Yes.
Okay.
So I have my phone.
Okay.
It's going to be my timer. Within 60 seconds, you should answer these 10 questions. So you only pick one.
Okay. So out of the 10 in 60 seconds.
So it's going to be this or that. You just pick one.
Okay.
So
I can pass the question if I don't know the answer.
Yeah, you can pass the question if you don't know the answer.
Okay. Easy questions. Fingers crossed.
No, you got this.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So we are starting. Okay. Politics or Netflix?
Politics.
Hustle in office or hustle online?
Hustle in the office.
TikTok politics or TikTok mentoring?
TikTok mentoring.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mining or mining memes?
Mining.
Okay. Okay. Learning a skill or first we gossip about politics?
Learning a skill.
Okay. MP or president?
President.
Youth Indaba or TikTok town hall?
Youth Indaba.
Okay. Campaign or we just dance it off?
Campaign.
Okay. Manifesto or MM?
Manifesto.
I'm really okay. It's done, guys. Within 46 seconds. I was really trying to trick you with the meme and all of that,
no.
but
I'm not good in that space.
I know. I think you're good. I think yeah.
Yeah.
You get us.
Okay.
Yeah, you get us because I was really trying to trick you there.
Okay.
Okay, so I want to go to Kamfisa to be specific. Let me start with when you were campaigning in Kamfisa and you saw obviously some of the challenges that people were facing.
Yeah.
What are some of the promises that you've made to the people and the changes that you promised, and have you done them?
Well, I'll start by saying I've put Kamfisa on the map.
Okay.
Okay. One of the things that is important is that you want your constituency to also have a voice in parliament. So Christopher Kango'amber every week has something to say in parliament. Okay, at least social media has kept that for me.
Yeah.
No one can come and say, Christopher, we're Kamfisa between 2021 and 2026. We had an MP who didn't say anything. At least for me, I've been able to raise the profile of the constituency, because you see, at the end of the day, you want the problems affecting the constituency to also be out there. People should know there are challenges of water, there are challenges of connectivity, because Kamfisa is predominantly, part of it is a farm block where people do farming, and the other part is where you have former council houses where some of us grew up. So one of the things I've done is to get Kamfisa. You're now even able to talk about Kamfisa, okay? Because you have a member of parliament who is always asking about things that need to be done in the constituency, but also things that are beyond the constituency. That is number one. Number two, Kamfisa has a water problem.
Okay.
So the time I was serving as mayor, we had a company called China Henan that was contracted by government to replace the old pipes, treat more water, and then transport the water into the constituency. So the project started, but you see, after change of government, the project was not funded anymore. So one of the things I've been trying to do in parliament is that I've been trying to speak about the problem of water. Okay, to the extent that I even asked government to cancel the water bills because the bills keep coming, but there's no water. Okay, yeah. Of course, government did not agree. The minister then said, look, if we cancel the bills, if there are 10 houses not receiving water, even the 12th house that may be receiving water, people will say, we also won't pay. So government said we can't cancel the water bills. I said, okay, if you can't cancel the water bills, then fix the water problems. So they decided now to release money towards the water project. But because the water project is so huge, the actual benefit will be seen maybe in the next 1 or 2 years because they are still doing the work, build new water tanks, the big tanks, and then take water into the constituency. Now that is long term. Short term, we have the Constituency Development Fund, which I used to use when I was councillor 15, 20 years ago. Although at a smaller scale, now the Constituency Development Fund is actually more than what we used to have. So we've been trying to get part of that money to do not these hand pumps. As we have solar powered water schemes. You have 3 big tanks on top. You have a digital controller. You press on it, the pump runs the borehole. The borehole takes the water into the tank, and then you have. So we're trying to use part of that money, but because the area is so big, you have Ndeke Village, you have Zamtan, Mulenga Compound. These are areas where you can't fix the water problem with boreholes. So even what we are trying to do is short term. It doesn't really sort out the problem, and that is why for me, my advocacy will continue. Keep making noise about the water problem, because if the water problem is sorted out by government, because I can't get money out of my pocket to fix a water problem as big as that, I think that will be a plus because it would give people access to water. It's not about me getting re-elected. I've always told young people who are joining politics, it's not about you getting re-elected into another election. It's about you leaving some level of impact in the period you've been given, and then you do the advocacy, so water. Secondly, most of the farmers in my constituency don't want to be begging for money. They don't want to be asking for money. They simply want a bridge to cross the Mwekera stream. So we have the Mwekera stream, we have the Kamfisa stream. So the constituency is named after a stream. So it goes into the Kafua River. So we've done bridges. These are big bridges, 3 million kwacha one bridge, because we want farmers to be able to plant their crops on time and to also be able to harvest and take the goods to the market. So we've done about 3-4 bridges in the constituency. At least these are things that were not there before.
Yeah.
But also I've tried to raise awareness amongst young people that look, there's money for empowerment programs. This is how you write a business plan. This is how you pitch your idea, summarize your business plan. This is how you apply for an empowerment fund. You go to this office. This is how you register a cooperative. That is one of the things I've been able to do. Very good advocacy. Even beyond Kamfisa, I was in Mazabuka last week. I was in Choma the other week. I was in Solwezi the other week, because young people have seen what I've been able to do in terms of raising awareness about these programs that government is running. So that has been one of those things that I thought. I've worked as councillor, mayor. I've seen young people want to be empowered, but they don't even know how many empowerment programs are there. So I thought that from an infrastructure point of view, from a health point of view, from an empowerment point of view, I think I've tried to raise that level of awareness in the constituency.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you spoke about how Kamfisa is, let me just say this, Kamfisa is a mining hub, right?
Yeah,
and
it's in Kitwe.
It's in Kitwe.
Yes.
Yeah. Even you growing up, you saw people in helmets, wearing protective clothes, and they're going to work to the mine. I'm sure to many young people that are not exposed as, or maybe that are not exposed as you were when you were young, so that you could change your aspirations. How are you ensuring that they benefit from this sector? Because now we have illegal mining, the mining sector.
Yeah. So again, I'm on record in Parliament. I took the conversation around what government calls illegal mining to Parliament.
Yeah.
You remember the Mfumbwe story?
Yes.
people discovered gold. They decided all the way from Kamfisa, Chingola, they all moved into Mufumbwe. We had over, I don't know if it's 50,000 people who are not even residents of Mufumbwe who went into gold mining. I took the conversation to Parliament. Again, I'm on record. Social media has really helped with the work that some of us do, because I'm imagining if we didn't have social media platforms, if we didn't have online news broadcasting, we would have a problem, because I would have to wait for a reporter to take it to the editor, then the editor edits, and then they put it in the newspaper, and then by the time it's reaching Mufumbwe, I mean, nothing is even done. But because the platform is there, when you're debating in Parliament, cameras are on you.
Yeah.
So I was able to speak about how government should train young people, equip them with the skills, give them equipment. And I think now we have a law which talks about equipment for people that want to do mining at a smaller scale. It's called artisanal mining. Now, in Kitwe, we have, I don't know if you're aware of what is called the Black Mountain.
Yes.
So when I was mayor for Kitwe, we pleaded with the president, Your Excellency, part of this Black Mountain belongs to ZCCM-IH. Can you give the 10% of ZCCM-IH to the young people?
Yeah.
Okay, because ZCCM-IH really have no use for the Black Mountain. So young people were allowed to load, make a bit of money. There isn't enough new resource in Kitwe. Most are already formalized mines. The illegal mining is mostly in areas such as Chingola, where ZCCM abandoned some pits, where KCM said, we no longer need these pits. So the advocacy I've done in helping young people go into formalized mining, I think is on record. Mining, you can't tell everyone go and plant maize, because maize, whatnot, people know that there's more money in mining.
Yes.
So I'm not discouraging people to diversify, because I don't want someone to say, Christopher was telling people not to go into agriculture.
Yeah.
Agriculture has got its own space. It employs quite a lot of people. But I think that for us to diversify to the other areas, we need to get mining right. And that is why, for me, my advocacy has been, once we find new resources, let's not rush to give the big mines, the FQMs, the IRIHs, Luansha copper mines, KCM. Let's also ask ourselves, how can we get young people involved into small-scale mining in a very formalized manner? And I think that I've been a very strong advocate in that space. I hope young people that are watching will then be able to reach out, and we can have further conversations around how do they participate in mining? How do you get a mining license at the Ministry of Mines?
Yeah.
Most people don't even know that you can get a mining license. I understand it's not easy. Maybe that's why they're a bit discouraged.
And I don't think it's also like spoken about, because we don't hear about getting a mining license.
Well,
and
I've
things
asked a
like
couple
that.
of questions in Parliament. We've been told there are more people getting licenses now. But you see, what's the use of a license if you can't have money to buy the equipment that you need to do the mining?
Okay, great. So I wanted to ask you about the mentorship for the young people in Kamfisa, but you've already spoken about all of that. So now I want to go to national issues and policy.
Okay.
If you were given a mandate today,
To be what, minister or president?
no, to be president,
Okay. Yeah, that's what I wanted to hear.
today, now,
Yeah.
what are you doing differently for us?
Well, first of all the sectors of the economy where the real money is. So the real money is in mining. Okay? So
In the other sector.
Sure. So the first thing I'll do, mining.
Yes.
Because we are doing what is called mapping. So they are mapping, trying to know where the new minerals are, not what is already given out. So the first thing I would do is I would make it a position of government that instead of us always looking for the investor to come and put in money, the first thing we're going to do is every new resource we find, we first have to ensure that it's owned by Zambians. Okay, if 10 young people are given a license, there are new minerals that have been found in Ngoma, it's now up to them to say, let's partner with a foreign entity who has capital. Okay,
Yeah.
but the starting point is exclusively, we've given out already enough, and I have no problem with foreign direct investment. I don't want to be misquoted. Christopher, when he becomes president, he's chasing every investor. That's not what I'm saying. I'm simply saying FQM has invested in Kalumbila, Kansanshi. That's a lot of investment. Can we also allow Zambians who have acquired the technical capacity, the young people coming out of university, the metallurgists, the geologists, the engineers, those have acquired skills. So can we try? We simply say, guys, here is a mine. We're giving you the license. Go and look for a partner if you think you don't have the money, or ask an investor such as NAPSA we're just discussing the NAPSA reforms. NAPSA is setting up a wealth fund for Zambians. So that wealth fund, you can apply for money from that wealth fund to ask NAPSA to invest in your mine, but you must own the mine. So the first thing I would do is I would ensure that Zambians have a bigger role to play in mining. Energy again. There's been this noise. Let's ask Dangote to come and set up this. Let's ask, there's an Indian businessman even who wants to come and do a solar plant. I mean, we can raise the money locally. We can say, okay, Potwala Pelela, where we are going to reach. If we can only raise $50 million, we can't go to 100. Yeah, then let's look for a partner. But let's start. So second sector is energy. There are huge business opportunities. I was invited in Arizona, America, by Zambians living in Arizona, because they followed the conversation in Parliament. They followed what I've been saying. So they said, no, Christopher, we remember you from uni. Some of us have been here for quite a lot of years. Can you come and explain what you are pitching in Parliament? So they bought an air ticket for me, traveled into Arizona. I went there, met Zambians in Arizona. The guys in New York said, no, Christopher, Arizona, New York is 4 hours. Please come into New York. We are Zambians living in New York. We want to hear about the opportunities that are there. I went there, explained about agriculture, literally what I'm explaining here. Yeah. In short, Mary, every sector of our economy, before we look to the big guys with $1 million to give us the money to raise, let's also ask ourselves, what model can we use to raise money locally? Okay? Can we ask 1 million Zambians to each contribute $10, or each one contributes $100, and then we tell them this mine will be yours provided you've bought $100 stake in the mine. That is where the accountants come in. I should not be teaching them what to do. They are experts. They understand project financing. So to answer your question, what I would do differently, number one, is I would identify opportunities for Zambians.
Okay.
And I make no apology about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was waiting for
I need
one.
an hour to explain the other things that I need to do.
But I just wanted to hear one sector, because I feel like they've been complaining too much that they've been neglected.
Okay.
The film industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we debated in Parliament the establishment of a film fund.
Yes.
Okay. The reason why that debate was presented in Parliament, why that conversation had to be taken to Parliament, is because countries that have done well actually have a film fund.
Yes.
There's money that you allocate in the national budgets. The same way I've been speaking about an artisanal mining fund. Money for young people to buy equipment for mining. We also now need a fund to do film making.
Yes.
So film making is not just the camera that points at you. It's about getting the content out, ensuring that you have the right quality, correct editing, the marketing aspect, ensuring that the big guys that can broadcast your content are able to buy what Zambians are able to do. So the fund is supposed to sort out quite all those things that are involved. So we debated. Government said, no. Our colleagues from the ruling party, they said, no. We don't support this motion. How many funds are we going to have? We can't have this fund. But I mean, if that is what will provide a solution. So I just highlighted mining, agriculture, energy, because the money you get from these sectors can actually support these others.
Yes.
Tourism, for instance, we have what is called the Tourism Development Fund. For the young people that are following this conversation, you go to Ministry of Tourism. Unfortunately, they don't have money in the fund. That is why this year, as we are budgeting for the 2026 budget, we are making a lot of noise around, can we put more money into these sectors? The young people that want to go into tourism.
Yes.
But do they have the money? They don't have the money. So government has to come in. So what I would do differently for me, and I want to repeat, every sector that can anchor job opportunities for young people. Before we look to, my point is, my strategy, this I'll come and implement when I become president. Before we look to the outside world, Zambians should be given what they call first right of refusal. Okay?
Yeah.
Like before we try this guy, let's try this guy. You are the local guy. So can we try you? If you fail, if your attitude is wrong, if you can't do this, then we'll go to this guy. So I think Zambians should be given the first right of refusal. Can I say something under 30 seconds?
Yes.
These empowerment funds, Ministry of Youth, they're giving out empowerment funds, youth empowerment funds. Under the Constituency Development Fund, there's a fund called the Youth Empowerment Fund for young people. Under the Ministry of Agriculture, there are empowerment funds. Under the Ministry of Livestock, if you want to go into aquaculture, growing fish, there are empowerment funds. Do you know that these funds are not properly managed by government? Because I can go to Kamfisa, apply for a loan, same day, because I know how to get my way around, go to Chilawombwe.
And apply.
There's no system that says, Christopher, you got in Kamfisa. Mary, you already got in Mandevo constituency. So the fact that one of the things I would do is that I would consolidate these empowerment funds and then be able to tell young people, if you apply, you give us your NRC, your name goes into the database. The database should be able to say, person A already borrowed money, and this is what they are doing. There'll be more focusing. Lastly, I would then ask that government, if I'm running the government, I would ask that every constituency should have an empowerment officer. There's no empowerment officer in Kamfisa who deals with empowerment, but government is taking money there.
Yeah.
Here in, where are we here? This is what? Lusaka Central?
Yes.
So Lusaka Central, there's no officer under the MP's office who's responsible for empowerment funds. But yet young people are getting empowerment funds. So I would want us to really focus, get people who are specialists to manage credit. Not Kitwe City Council, not Lusaka City Council. Kitwe City Council can't manage credit.
Yeah.
Their job is to collect garbage, provide services, municipal services. Let's ensure that within each constituency, we have a young person dealing with fellow young people. A group of 10 young people want to set up a cooperative. There must be a sharp young lady who should be able to say, here are the forms. If you want to apply for empowerment funds, which empowerment funds? No, the one that deals with tourism. Here's your form. There's no officer in that ministry, in that office of the MP. These are things I don't want to let out everything.
Yes, don't. Please keep. Keep it.
Saranjibira manifesto.
Keep it.
Tukesaranda mu campaign.
Tukesaranda
Kashi campaign ganayamba.
So I also want to find out, what are some of the policies that are there currently that you are advocating for the young people, especially in the mining industry and just also other sectors? What policies are you advocating for right now that are already there in existence?
Okay, so I've been advocating for what is called local content. So in 2015, the Mines and Minerals Development Act, which is the law governing mining, was amended to introduce what is called local content. 2015. I know the new team has been saying we have introduced local content. Local content was introduced in 2015. What was missing was a statutory instrument to state what percentage of the money that the mines spend that will go towards local people. So if FQM is spending $1 billion on buying equipment, buying PPE, protective attire, buying pumps, a percentage of that should go to local people in terms of business, the suppliers and contractors. Where I come from in Kitwe, when the supply business is doing well, okay, you can even see it. You can even just tell. Okay, you're going to watch a football match at Nkana Stadium. Once I get drink. Why should additional supply? So we need to get local content correctly. So government has been discussing with the mining business owners that can we now implement local content. Last year we were debating in Parliament. Was it January this year? Government attempted not to include the word local content. I debated in Parliament. I said, Minister of Mines, we won't approve this law until the word local content is there. Local content means $1 billion in capital expenditure. A certain percentage is specifically for Zambian businessmen. Okay, so we debated, we argued, okay, because I made a lot of noise in Parliament, and that's the highest level of advocacy. Everyone is watching, okay? So because of the advocacy, the bill was deferred, meaning government said, allow us to come back after we've cleaned up the law, and that is how they cleaned up the law and they put back the word local content. 2 months ago, I think government launched the local content regulations, which are now the guide. So now they are saying 20% is what should go to local people. I don't agree. I think that we could have just hammered 50%. 50% of $500 million, if that's how much money Mopani is spending. If Luansha Copper Mines in Luansha is spending $30 million, half of it should go towards businesses for Zambians. So we'll continue making the noise because we need to get local content correctly. Yeah.
Okay. There's also another issue that I want us to talk about, which is specifically to the young people.
Okay.
The content creators.
Yeah.
The content creators, the
The
influencers,
TikTokers.
the TikTokers.
YouTubers.
The YouTubers.
Yeah.
So right now, I've forgotten. I'm trying to remember the name of the marketing what? It's the marketing what? Where now you need to register and pay a fee.
Okay.
For you to put out your content
Zambia
or
Institute of
advertise.
Marketing.
Yes, Zambia Institute of
They
Marketing.
want to
Yes.
charge content creators.
They want to charge
Are you a
content
content creator?
Yes, I am.
So they want to charge you.
They want to charge me, and Zambia is not even monetized.
Yeah.
To make things worse, Zambia is not monetized, so that is like the only way that you make money from the effort that you are putting in. What do you think about that?
What do I make of it? Well, first of all, before you levy those who are earning money from content, you must ask yourself if they are earning money.
Actually, earning from advertising.
Or earning from advertising.
Yeah, because from the content itself, we are not monetized. So even when we put content on YouTube, we don't make any money from it.
Yeah.
So we only make money from
the adverts
adverts that we place
on your platform.
Yeah. So now they would want to charge us for that.
Okay. I need to check what the law states, because if it's in the law, it means that you can't create a law which you can't follow. So if the demand is the law should be amended, will Zambia Institute of Marketing agree to lose income from advertising? Because for them, I think their focus is on the advert. Okay, because the advert is what is communicating a message for a product. So I don't know what happens with the other adverts, because on ZNBC there are adverts.
Yes.
On
but I think those they do pay.
Those do pay.
Billboards, no.
Yeah, so if you put out a billboard, for instance, and your face is on the billboard, you are paid money, and then you pay a tax to government.
Yes.
So if you're putting an advert on your social media platform, okay, you're not earning money from your platform, you're earning money from the advert.
Yes.
Okay, so Zambia Institute of Marketing is saying, Mary, your advert,
you have to
pay. I don't know how much are they asking you guys to pay.
Have you looked at no, I haven't looked at the percentages.
Okay, let me look at it. Let me look at if the problem is in the law, or it's a statutory instrument, or it's for members of ZIM, because Zambia Institute of Marketing is a regulator for marketing.
Yes.
So I'll need to check what the mandate of the regulator is, so that if it's a conversation we have to take back to Parliament. We've not discussed that aspect.
You should.
Yeah, but for monetization, there was a motion that I debated with my colleague from Unkana Binwell, where we debated the issue of monetization of social media. Okay? Now, to monetize social media, I know government has said, no, it's up to you. If you have good content, the algorithm will pick that you are a good platform. No. Government has a role to play.
Yes.
Okay? If there are no platforms for you to get your money, even if you have 1 million views, if your money can't come into Zambia, because currently there's no money that can come into Zambia off your content. Okay, you can only ask Trade Kings, and I'm not advertising for Trade Kings, I'm not advertising for anyone. You can only ask these local guys who do a lot of marketing of their goods to be able to say, look, I have good views on my platform. Can you pay me because I can advertise for you? But for monetization of social media, it simply means a certain number of views on your platform. If it's Meta, Meta then will say, oh, on Facebook, Mary, you have 1 million views, we'll pay you this. If you're on YouTube, because you have more people visiting YouTube, then you are able to earn money. So government through the central bank must allow for money
to be able
to come into Zambia. Why is it that people who earn money off monetization have to go and open their accounts in SA, Ghana, Egypt, and I think Nigeria?
Yes.
So why can't we? Because those are rules government can set up. In other words, in short, it's possible for government to move. I was in Mauritius with a committee of parliament called the ICT and Media Committee. We were told in Mauritius by the Ministry of ICT that in Mauritius, when they have a problem with Meta, they simply call Facebook, they call Meta to say, we have this concern from people in Mauritius. Can you attend to it? Can you do this? So it's also possible. Maybe Zambia has not realized that we have a huge audience of people that are using these social media platforms. It's possible to monetize social media. I'm still waiting. My colleague from Moncana is still waiting because we debated and government agreed. It's now 1 year down the line. We are waiting for government to put a few things in place. Apart from you, the content creators, getting your content correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
Mulandashana to finish that trending.
finish the trends.
Finish that
Kaidi
trend.
kaidi fa finish the trends yeah. Kaidi
Air
finish nani.
content.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Honorable.
Yeah.
Do you desire to be president?
Yes, I do.
When?
I've made it very clear.
When?
The issue of when is now what requires planning. The issue of when is what requires a bit of housekeeping. Because you see, to be president, it simply means that you are now going to contest at the level where you can't just be Christopher Kango'amber in Kamfisa. You must be Christopher Kango'amber known in Chavuma, Christopher Kango'amber known in Malole constituency, Northern Province. Christopher Kango'amber must be known in Namwala, Kazungula. So I'm doing the housekeeping. I'm consolidating a plan. I can't let out the plan now because then it's no longer a plan.
Oh, okay.
So in other words, I've done councillor 10 years. I've done mayor 5 years, MP 5 years. That's 20 years. Okay. And I'm not bragging, but it's just a fact that look out for everyone that's competing in next year's elections. Ask if there's anyone with a profile as what?
As good as yours.
As good as mine. Yeah.
Yes.
As good, as rich as my profile. Okay. In terms of learning leadership, you learn. Here people criticize you, you pick lessons, you do better. You become solid. You stop reading when you are explaining things. Am I reading what I've just stated here? I'm not reading because I've been dealing with young people. I've been dealing with groups of women that want to be empowered. I've been dealing with issues to do with I was also president for the Local Government Association of Zambia, okay, which gave me an opportunity to represent Zambia in local government affairs at the continental level. Again, that is level of exposure. So now, having acquired all this experience, definitely I'm an option for presidents.
2026.
So I'm doing the housekeeping.
2026.
I'm doing the planning.
2026.
I'm doing the planning. I'll let you know very soon. There's just one piece of the puzzle.
Okay.
Just one piece that I'm trying to get in.
Yeah.
If that piece fits,
Yeah.
you have my announcement.
Okay.
Very soon, yeah.
Honorable.
Yeah.
We will be waiting.
Yeah,
We'll be waiting.
very
I'm
soon.
sure the Gen Zs will be waiting.
Tell the Gen Zs that they have a role to play.
Yeah.
I really hope they registered in good numbers because they'll have to decide which president understands their future concerns, immediate and future concerns. Because obviously, to be president in Zambia, you need to be 35 years old. So from the Gen Z,
We can't have a Gen Z president
those
at
that
the
are
moment.
20, those are because if you are 20, you can't even be councillor. You have to be 21 to be councillor in Zambia under the laws of Zambia.
Oh.
So even if you are 20, you have this huge energy, great ideas. Unfortunately, you have to reach 21 to be councillor. To be MP, you have to be 21. To be president, you have to reach 35 years old. That's what the constitution states. So the Gen Z can produce a president who's in the, generational wise, Gen Z and those of us that are 40, we are almost in the same generation. So the Gen Zs can produce a president in Christopher Kango'amber if they register and cast their vote. And then after I leave, we produce another Gen Z president. So it's possible that we can have, in the next 10 years, we can have two young presidents.
Young presidents.
Yes.
Honorable, I wanted to say your last words, but I think you've already spoken about it. But,
Yeah.
please, just one message to the Gen Zs. Political violence. As we head into elections next year. Yeah, just talk about that briefly and then we can close.
So the funny part about political violence is that the people who send young people to go and misconduct themselves don't send their kids to go and do that. Okay? So
that's a good one.
If you are here in Lusaka, you want young people to go on the streets, to go and cause mayhem, you're not sending your kids, you're sending people's kids, innocent people's kids, because they don't have things to do. They are not well empowered. Because an empowered person can't agree to go and cause violence. An empowered person will simply say, well, we have a deal to close with Meta. We have a deal to close with the owners of this platform.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to be a brand ambassador for this particular product. I need to get into SA. They are waiting for me because you're productive. So what we should be discussing, especially for us who are in leadership, who have this influence, let's not focus on using young people. And I debated this last week. If you go to the records, debate in parliament on political violence, I was the only one who was able to state in very clear terms that, colleagues, PFU, PND parliamentarians, you drink tea together. You are going into Mauritius for a trip, you are seated on the same plane, okay? Accommodated in the same hotels. There's no beef, okay? At our level, we interact, we relate, we help each other. This one is short of something, you put. There's really no friction at that level. There, when the cameras are pointing, people want to show that they are fights in parliament. But you see, in real life, these are individuals that relate very well. Now, if the MPs are relating very well, why should we allow the young people who belong to political party A, political party B, to be the ones that are being used in political violence? So I was able to debate along those lines, and I was able to say, look, can we focus our attention as leaders in providing economic empowerment opportunities for young people? Let's make young people productive so that when we say young people from Citizens First or young people from Christopher Kango'amber's political party, these are young people that should come on this platform. Two people are seated arguing about policy issues, energy issues. How do we sort out the load shedding problem? That is where the argument should be. Not on who's stronger physically or who can insult more.
Yeah.
But you are saying, no. I think that is not what should define our politics. So my message to young people, yes, be vigilant, but don't get involved in political violence. If a politician comes to you and says, go and beat up Christopher Kango'amber because he's speaking in Kabwe, like what happened to Honorable Given Lubinda, that was totally unacceptable. What happened in Chingola, where young people, of course, for them, they have their own message, they have their own issue that concerns them, but what happened there was unacceptable.
Yeah.
I think that you can still convey a message that you want to be empowered as young people in Chingola without having to stone the Republican president. I would want to be president one day. I would want to have the same level of respect because I would want to also give people the opportunity to submit their concerns. So Gen Zs, you are a new generation, and the new generation should do things differently.
Do better.
Yes.
What do you want to be remembered for in Kamfisa? When you leave Kamfisa to be president, or when you're no longer MP in Kamfisa?
When I'm no longer MP, well, I want to be remembered as a member of parliament that gave the constituency the profile. I gave the constituency prominence. People now talk about Kamfisa constituency. Well, Kamfisa constituency, Honorable Kango'amber's constituency. People now know that there's a constituency called Kamfisa because I think from 2021 to up to date, I've probably moved more private members' motions in parliament. Urging government to do this, Last week I was talking about crop yield per hectare. So these are things coming from their MP. And obviously you can't have an MP without a constituency.
True.
So I hope that one day when people say, okay, Christopher Kango'amber, they'll say Christopher Kango'amber gave our constituency the right profile.
Great.
Yeah.
Honorable, it was great to have you on Gen Z Podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing your insight.
Podcast nakatemwa.
Kakarika?
Ka Gen Z. Nakatemwa. Kamulama question yamazeto.
Shani, because we know what we want.
Thanks a lot for inviting me.
Yeah, it was a pleasure having you. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in. Until next time, it's bye. Remember, next time, same place here at Gen Z Podcast. So, peace out. Peace. Yes, kuchitaso. All right, thank you so much. Hey, Gen Z. Yeah. Okay.